माननीय मंत्री जी अब अपने साथ में आ गए हैं। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी का हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं और हमारे सभी सदस्यों से अनुरोध करूंगा कि कृपया अपने सिस्टम को म्यूट पोजीशन में रखें और मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से हमारे कुछ पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट्स और विशिष्ट अतिथियों का परिचय करवा देता हूं। हमारे बीच में हैं हमारे पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट श्री जी शाह, श्री संतोष जी रुंगटा, श्री NR गोयनका, श्री पवन जी पोद्दार, श्री सज्जन जी भजनका, श्री धीरेन्द्र कुमार जी, श्री NG राजगढ़िया, श्री सीताराम जी शर्मा और श्री राकेश शाह। और हमारे आज साथ में हैं रिटायर्ड एयर चीफ मार्शल श्री अरूप रहा और स्वमान धन्य जिनको हम सब जानते हैं, जिन्होंने हम सब लोगों ने नाम सुना है, डॉक्टर HR नागेंद्र विवेकानंद केंद्र से, और लक्ष्य समूह के श्री अशोक जी तोदी, वो भी आज हमारी इस भारत चेंबर की AGM में उपस्थित हैं। मैंने सोचा कि मंत्री जी से हम हमारे वरिष्ठ जनों का एक बार परिचय करवा दें। अब अगर अनुमति हो तो आगे की कार्रवाई हम शुरू करें। और
बिल्कुल शुरू करें।
Honorable Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, distinguished guests and past presidents, members of the chamber and friends from the media, I welcome you all to this 120th and first ever annual general meeting of our chamber in the virtual mode. On behalf of our members and my own behalf, I have immense pleasure in extending a very warm and hearty welcome to our guest-in-chief, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister of Road, Transport and Highways and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, to this virtual inaugural session. Sir, you were kind enough to inaugurate our Chamber's 150th Annual General Meeting, and thus you have granted this favor for us for the second time. Welcome you, sir. At the outset, let me wish you, sir, season's greetings and a very happy new year from all of us. Friends, we are meeting at a time when, despite the renewed threat of COVID-19 with its new strain, the global economy is starting to break out of the steady decline. People in many countries seem to be easing out of containment and social distancing to undertake economic activities as far as possible in virtual mode as well as on site with social distancing wherever physical presence is required. In India, with this exemplary vision, our Honorable Prime Minister has foreseen the opportunities and has, ahead of time, launched the Atmanirbhar Bharat Yojana to boost indigenous manufacturing. It is therefore time that we now promptly capitalize on opportunities across other markets and increase the depth and breadth of our business ecosystem. In this backdrop, after the steep contraction in economic activities during the first 2 quarters of the current fiscal, it is quite encouraging that the Indian economy is showing signs of turnaround. From the decline of 23.9% in the first quarter of the current fiscal to the contraction has tapered down to 7.5%, and further improvements are on the cards. Sir, You have made a major contribution in this regard since the construction work at the highways continued with full zeal during the dislocations. Under your able and dynamic leadership, the highway sectors and SMEs have indeed become two of the most powerful growth engines of our economy. The theme of our AGM is thus most appropriately India's new growth engines, infrastructure, and SMEs. It is a matter of pride for all of us that despite the dislocations caused by the pandemic, more than 40 kilometers of roadways per day has been created during the current fiscal. There is no doubt, sir, that you are highly preoccupied in managing the affairs of the two growth engines. We are therefore grateful to you for having very kindly agreed to spare time, valuable time, and giving us this privilege to share your thoughts as our guest in chief this evening. Sir, you have taken an unprecedented initiative to build highways in the Northeast, and these linkages would consolidate not only the development of the states in the Northeast, but also our trade with the neighboring countries in terms of realization of one of the dreams of our Prime Minister, the Act East policy. It is expected that West Bengal will be logistically the hinterland for execution of this policy. I shall be grateful if you could kindly share your thoughts and vision on the current and future perspectives of the Act East policy. Expansion of roadways has created demand for steel and cement, which were under distress due to the heavy depression in the construction sector. Unfortunately, at this juncture, steel manufacturers are suffering heavily because of non-availability and high price of iron ore due to unprecedented exports. This has affected the downstream MSMEs. I would therefore request your kind intervention with regard to indiscriminate export of iron ore. Sir, there is no denying the fact that because of your interest and bold initiatives, the definition of the MSMEs was rationalized after so many years. Besides, the various soaps to handhold MSMEs introduced under the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission would not have been possible without your support. The MSME sector now accounts for about 45% of India's manufacturing output and around 30% of the country's GDP. Sir, it is highly encouraging that you have envisaged to raise the MSME sector's contribution to GDP growth to 40% and increase its share in India's exports to 60% from the current 48%. West Bengal has the largest number of SMEs in the country, and MSMEs have considerable strength in our chamber's membership. In this context, the roadmap that is being prepared for the growth of SMEs, I shall be grateful, sir, if you will kindly share your thoughts on the roadmap of this development to learn how the SMEs of West Bengal can benefit from the future program of the growth. In May 2020, it has been mandated that MSME dues from central government agencies and central public sector enterprises should be paid in 45 days. As a result, over rupees 21,000 crores of SME dues have been paid since May 2020. This has been a phenomenal support. Sir, there are still a number of cases where payments have remained overdue as the PSUs are sick or have put themselves under NCLT. It would be helpful if the outstanding dues are monitored by some agency in the digital mode. There has been some delays in sanction of loans to struggling businesses and MSMEs under the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Over the months of October and November 2020, these needs to be looked into. The principal problem for the MSMEs now is lack of demand. They need guidance and financial support to place themselves attractively in this digital world. I shall be grateful if you kindly look into the possibilities in this regard. Indigenization of production of defense requirements and exports of defense items has been a major initiative of the Government of India over the last couple of years. I am delighted to inform you, sir, that our chamber has organized a national seminar and exhibition on defense production opportunities for MSMEs and other seminar and exhibition on manufacture of requirements of aerospace industries. Thereafter, to provide hand-holding support to the MSMEs, we have set up a facilitation center at our premises. The Department of Defense Production has also given the responsibility to our chamber to organize outreach program to promote the concept of defense production for the MSMEs in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in this region. Sir, as the harbinger of MSME industries, it would be helpful if you will kindly share your thoughts on how the MSMEs can derive technological support for manufacturing sophisticated defense requirements and integrate themselves with the Defense Procurement Policy 2020 and Defense Production and Export Promotion Policy 2020. Another dream proposal of the Government of India for us in the National Infrastructure Pipeline Project. India's current ranking on the infrastructure pillar of the Global Competitiveness Index is 70 out of 140 countries. This index is based on effective modes of transport, electricity supply, and telecommunication networks. In terms of the recommendations of the task force of the Department of Economic Affairs, the number of rural internet subscribers are to be increased from 27 persons out of 100 in 2019 to 75 in 2025. Data speed to be similarly increased from 23 Mbps to 100 Mbps during this period. The other significant handicap faced by the MSMEs during the pandemic is non-availability and slow speed of broadband connections even in the urban areas. In this global economy, we cannot only attract capital, but we need to attract technology and talent as well. Therefore, a bureaucracy-free special department should be created to facilitate innovations and train high-quality skills of manpower. Now, India needs to get the benefits of the fourth industrial revolution. The future of manufacturing industries lies on applications using artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and blockchain technology. This niche advantage needs to be leveraged to strengthen the competitiveness of Indian MSMEs. Sir, I strongly feel that your support in this regard will make our MSMEs global champions. Sir, License Raj is gone, but Inspector Raj also needs to go. Besides, the government should facilitate the global markets through Indian embassies much more effectively. High cost of manufacture is due to high power and transportation cost. May I suggest that in order to make our exports more competitive, instead of giving direct subsidies, exporters may be compensated on power and transport costs. Sir, MSMEs are suffering due to the policy prioritizing berthing of vessels at ports. Therefore, there is a need for creation of level playing field for large and MSMEs berthing on first come first serve basis. Another important issue is that rupees 1.5 trillion tax relief provided by the government as a part of the pandemic relief has been mostly benefited the large companies and did not reach the MSMEs as they were below the threshold levels. Besides, policy changes have not only reduced compliance burden of labor laws but also helped to reduce wage costs. The net effect of these disproportionate life measures is that the MSMEs are in distress and have been denied a level playing field. Besides, they had to very recently bear the brunt of policy induced shocks like demonetization and GST, as also natural shocks like the pandemic causing the lockdowns. I shall be grateful, sir, if you kindly share your thoughts in this regard as well. Sir, it is feared that in the context of reforms, the new and common definition of wages under the recently passed labor codes to be implemented from April 2021 will cause serious problems both for the employees and employers. MSMEs in particular. As a result of this stipulation, money from hands of the employees as well as employers, which would have been generated demands, would be sucked out from circulation. The threshold level being rupees 15,000 per month, the MSMEs would be very critically affected. While the objective of this regulation in increasing the social security of employee is laudable, considering the current status of our economy, its implementation needs to be deferred. Before I highlight the activities of our chamber, I wish to bring to your kind notice that exporters are facing a lot of difficulties since Indian banks, except SBI, are not readily recognized by international banks and do not accept their LCs. It is important that Government of India takes some initiatives to add credibility to other Indian banks in foreign countries. Sir, export facilitation for our members has been one of the areas of strength of our chamber, and last year we organized a very important conference on doing business with Africa, at which the High Commissioners of a number of African countries participated, and the chamber established the Africa desk to handhold members in doing businesses with Africa. Following the lockdown, we have organized a number of special e-sessions, interactive sessions and seminars. At these sessions, Honorable Ministers of the Government of India, Sri Piyush Goyal, Sri Anurag Thakur, Sri Mansukh Bhai Mandavia and Sri Rameshwar Teli have addressed our members. The chambers have also held a very fruitful session which was addressed by you, sir, on April 23rd, 2020. You will be delighted to know that during the lockdown and unlock in recent months, our chamber has organized training programs for food processors in the MSME. Besides, we have very significantly helped our members by keeping them aware of various developments on a wide spectrum of topics concerning COVID-19, including the important announcements made by the governments, both center and state, by organizing a large number of events on the digital platform. leading economists, including Dr. Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, Sri Sanjeev Sanyal, Sri Swaminathan Gurumurthy, and Dr. Pranab Sen, has also addressed the members during the period. Indo-Tibet, China, with His Excellency Dr. Lobsang Sangye, President of Central Tibetan Administration. We had the privilege of interacting with senior bankers like Sri Rajneesh Kumar, Chairman State Bank of India, and Sri Raj Kiran Rai, Managing Director and CEO, Union Bank of India. Before I request Honorable Sri Gadkari ji to deliver the inaugural address, I would like to express my grateful thanks to our members for re-electing me as the President for another term. I would also like to thank both the central and state governments for being so receptive to the views and suggestions made by the Chamber from time to time. I wish to thank my colleagues in the Chamber, former presidents, especially Sri Pavanji, and my predecessor Sri Sitaramji, as well as chairman and co-chairman of the subcommittees. My thanks are also due to the presidents of affiliated associations for their support and cooperation that I have been extended to me from time to time during the year. I thank chairperson of our Chamber's Ladies Forum and chairman and advisor of the Young Business Forum for their initiatives in organizing a number of meaningful programs. I am especially thankful to Sri N.G. Khetan, Senior Vice President, for his invaluable support and cooperation at all times. I am thankful to the members of the press and electronic media for their support in giving wide coverage to the views and suggestions of the Chamber on all major issues all along. Finally, I would like to place on record the support and cooperation that I have received both from the members of the Chamber and the committee members. I must also mention that I have received full support of the Secretariat round the year, and I congratulate all of them for their cooperation and involvement. Before I conclude, I would like once again to express my heartfelt thanks to our guest-in-chief, Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, Minister of Road Transport, Highways and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, for his kind gesture in readily accepting my invitation to inaugurate the 120th AGM of our Chamber this evening. Thank you. And now I would request Honorable Minister Sri Nitin Gadkari ji to kindly address our members and the Chamber.
नमस्कार. आदरणीय श्री रमेश कुमार सरवी जी, प्रेसिडेंट भारत चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स, श्री N.G. Khetan, सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, former presidents of the chamber, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. It is a matter of great pleasure to address you and all these important occasions on 120th AGM of Bharat Chamber of Commerce. A well-developed infrastructure enhances level of economic activity, creates additional fiscal space by improving revenue base of the government, and ensures quality of expenditure focused on productive areas. In spite of COVID-19 pandemic, government policy, support and action have helped to increase activities in infrastructure sectors. Our Honorable Prime Minister set a vision for India to become a $5 trillion economy in next 5 years. The $5 trillion economy and 111 lakh crore of infrastructure for making Atmanirbhar Bharat is the most important and challenging mission which already Prime Minister has given to all of us. In line, India is targeting a fresh investment about $1.4 trillion, that is rupees 111 lakh crore, over these years on infrastructure through National Infrastructure Pipeline. Our Honorable Prime Minister has a vision of Act East policy, and this policy is a diplomatic initiative intended to promote economic, strategic, and cultural relationship with the vast Asia-Pacific region at different levels. India has now forged strategic partnership with Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, South Korea, and Australia. India Act East policy is closely connected with the long-term vision of developing its northeastern region, which is considered as a gateway to Southeast Asia, and government has shown a strong commitment to developing the infrastructure of the region in transport, highways, communication, power, and waterways. To achieve the government mission of raising to MSME sector's contribution to GDP growth to 40% from the current 30% and increasing its share in India's export to 60%, there is need to undertake strategic initiatives, and MSME must upgrade their technology and accept new technology in order to make products that can substitute imports and increase India's export. The most important thing which we need, that is upgradation of technology. We need to reduce the cost of the products without compromise with the quality. The innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skilled and successful practices, we name it as a knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. So already in India, a lot of institutions like IIT, engineering colleges, research centers, research organizations, taking a lot of new initiative, and this is exactly the future for the country. So this is very important to understand, and where I will request all of you that we need to plan on the line by which how we can upgrade the technology, because technology is constantly changing, and the international market, we must have the best technology by which there will be a good quality of products, and 100% the cost is equally important. By without compromising the quality, if we can reduce the cost, you are absolutely correct that regarding logistic cost is a big concern. At presently, as comparison with China, our logistic cost is 18%, China's cost is 8 to 10%, and European country it is 12%. For that reason, we need to use different type of fuels for transport. And as a transport minister, we have already visualized to use the fuel like ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric and hydrogen fuel cell. Presently, the volume of ethanol is 20,000 crore in the country, where we are planning to take it up to 2 lakh crore green biofuel. Even we can make the fuel for aviation. Already the successful experiments are going on, and I am confident that in due course of time we are going to create more jobs and more development and more growth in the agriculture, rural, tribal India and 115 aspirant districts. The present turnover of the village industry is coming to 80,000 crore. And where I will request to all of you, now we need to plan the strategy, the policy, the vision, that how we can make this turnover from 80,000 crore to 5 lakhs crore. To create employment potential in agriculture, rural, tribal and 115 aspirant district is very important. And that is exactly where we need your cooperation for that. Our Khadi, Gramodyog, handloom, handicrafts and MSME are doing excellent jobs. And we are constantly improving the technology by which we will be more economically viable. The products may be identified that are indigenous, import substitute, innovative, of good quality, and that can be made at a lowest cost and made available to the international market. You know that already in the international scenario, the whole world is now, majority of the people are preferring India for their markets. And this is the time that we need to improve the quality. At the same time, cost is equally important. For example, India may substitute the import of rupees 8 lakh crore of petroleum with ethanol made from sugarcane, rice, and corn, which is surplus in the country. To meet the need of ethanol on such a scale, mills may be created that directly make ethanol instead of sourcing it from the sugar mills. We are now, as a MSME minister, we are trying to make a policy because we have sugar surplus, corn surplus, we have got rice surplus. We have 280 lakh ton of rice is available. We can supply rice to the whole world. Our sugar rate is 34 rupees per kg. Now the international price of the sugar is 22 rupees per kg. Now for this reason, actually our MSP is higher than international policy, international price and market price. Here we need to diversify our agriculture towards energy and power sector, where we can give too much relief to the people belongs to agriculture. And that is very important for the country. As a ministry, MSME ministry, we are now going to plan a policy for that. Indian enterprises and research organizations need to upgrade domestic technologies and also source technology from foreign research institutes through joint ventures. This is very important. Whatever the best technology which is available in the world, suppose if we have the arrangement in India, having a good research, but having good technology, no problem. But if don't have technology, then we can make joint ventures, and by which we can even going to increase our export, and that is very important for the country. To increase exports, India's MSME must align with the technological changes introduced by the government, especially in the automobile sector. The automobile sector total industries volume of 4,50,000 crore. This is the industry which creates maximum employment potential in the country. And at the same time, the 1,45,000 crores of export. Now we are in process of finalizing the scrapping policy, by which I am confident that our Indian automobile industry, we are going to become a number one manufacturing hub of automobiles. Actually, e-vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, LNG, all these things we are working lot of successful experiments by which is a very bright future for the industry, and I am confident that 100% we will get the benefit for all from this industry. The COVID-19 has significantly impacted the MSME sector and many industries facing liquidity issues, labor problems due to migration of laborers, shutting down of production in many industries, disruptions in supply chain, decrease in import, and uncertainties in consumptions. These are the problems. And because of COVID-19 also, the problems are really serious. But what my feeling is, our positivity and self-confidence is very important. Just the Honorable Chairman just quoted that our GDP growth rate is now on increasing trends. I am very positive and I am feeling that in due course of time, 100% we will increase the GDP growth. For that reason, we need positivity and self-confidence. The frustration and negativity is at all not useful for the country, neither for the industry. I am very much sure about it that we will win this war against COVID-19, and at the same time we will win economic war also. The Ministry of MSME has taken many interventions to address the challenges occurred due to pandemic, and some of these interventions include the ministry conducted sector-specific interaction with industry association through webinars and sensitization campaigns through its associated organizations to help MSME resume their economic activities. The inputs received from industries associations were given high importance while working on designing relief measures, guidelines to benefit the MSME. Some of these suggestions led to policy level changes, which include revision in definition of MSME, announcement of Atmanirbhar Bharat economic package, and work towards import substitutions. The ministry launched an innovative portal, Champions, for SMEs in May 2020 to help them deal with the COVID-19 situation. The platform aimed at assisting India's SMEs march into big league as a national and global champions. It is real one-stop shop solution which intends for making the small units big by solving their grievances, encouraging, supporting, handholding. The ministry has started working on import substitution for a number of products as a sustainable solution to strengthen the supply chains and develop SMEs. For example, during the early stage of the pandemic, a number of medical items and auxiliary items like face mask, PPE, sanitizer, face shield, etc., were being imported from other countries. Due to sustained efforts to the government, local industries have started producing all these items in the country. The government has announced multiple measures that aim to holistically review the MSME sector. The Atmanirbhar Bharat economic package of 20 lakh crores, equivalent to 10% of India's GDP, launched by the government is intended to provide required support to various sectors of the economy, including the MSME. Major aid for MSME sector: 3 lakh crore worth of collateral free automatic 5 years tenure loans with a 12-month moratorium period expected to benefit 45 lakh MSME units. The 2 lakh crore is already sanctioned and 1 lakh 60,000 crore to 1 lakh 80,000 crore disbursement is already over. The 20,000 crore with the subordinate debt, which is expected to be almost 2 lakh stressed MSMEs for making restructure. Fund of fund being created with a corpus of 10,000 crore to infuse equity into potential and viable MSMEs. Those who have good track record, GST track record, bank turnover, and income tax record. We are making the rating of that MSMEs, and today it is the time for the country to develop share economy, pension economy, and insurance economy. Here, it can be going to be a great benefit to the MSME if they get their capital from the capital market, where we want to encourage MSME for that. To pave way to strengthening and growth of MSMEs, the government announced a new definition of MSME. For government procurements, tenders up to 200 crore will not be considered global tenders. MSME receivables, this is really a serious problem. We are trying to resolve this problem, but still I know that there are some problems the MSMEs are facing. And to be released in 45 days by government and CPSCs. And we are now looking after to make some new planning, making some law to find out the solution for this problem. But this is one of the critical problem. Because of that, the MSMEs are facing the working capital problem. The trades have been facilitating the trade receivable financing of MSMEs from corporate buyers through multiple financiers. Other measures such as EPF support for business, reduction in EPF rates, 25% reduction for TCS and TDS rates, etc. All these measures are aimed at providing relief and improving credit flow to MSME, as well as increasing cash in hand for organized sector workers and employers. Additionally, the focus is towards asset creation and ensuring that the people daily spending requirements are met, which will create demand and give the required push to the market. These support measures will go a long way in achieving India's vision of $5 trillion economy by 2024. The Samadhan portal gives information about individual CPSCs, central ministers, state government, etc., and other buyers regarding the payments pending with them in respect of the MSEs. In addition to this, the portal also facilitates MSEs to file their delayed payment-related complaints online. The policy reform and initiative in road sector. In COVID era, the government has provided relief packages to contractors, developers of road sector under various agencies of MRTH regarding payment, extension of time, direct payment to subcontractors, approval of some change of scope, waiver of penalty for delay in submission of performance security or bank guarantee, compensation for loss in collection of fees, etc. A blanket extension of 3 to 6 months for all projects has been announced. Important benefits provided to the contractors, developer for ease of cash management are more frequent payments beyond the contractual terms, reduction in performance bank guarantee. Further, no additional performance security is being insisted in case of lower price bids. Road sector investment opportunities. The road sector has huge potential to revive the economy and scope to liquidity to the Indian economy. More than 20% of this investment is expected to flow into the road sector. NHI is AAA rating company, and I am targeting investment of rupees 25 lakh crore in road development sector. A part of that funding will be monetization of existing assets. MRTH has identified around 2,478 projects under the NIP with an anticipated investment of rupees 20.33 lakh crores. On road connectivity, significant work is being done under the Bharat Mala Pariyojana and Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana and Sagar Mala project, which are expected to deliver gains in road network development in the country. Reducing the logistic cost to below 10% of GDP is at our top of the agenda. So government is developing inland waterways, air connectivity and road network at large. We are now decided to make 22 green highways. The one of the express highway between Mumbai to Delhi, already the half of the road construction is completed. We are trying to open it before 1 year, but probably 1.5 years they are expecting time for to complete this project, where it will be easy for all of us to go to from Delhi to Mumbai within 12 hours. And the truck for it will be 18 to 19 hours. We are making already in January, we will open this Meerut Delhi Express Highway, where the 16-lane road is there in some part of the highway. Presently, it takes 4 hours from coming to Meerut to Delhi, but after starting this, it will be 45 minutes. We are making the highway to Delhi, Amritsar within 6 hours and Amritsar Katra. So that is going to be a good connectivity, new independent green highway to connectivity to Srinagar and Jammu. This is also very important. We are also started work in Chennai Bangalore Express Highway. Already 4-5 packages are already awarded. We are now in the process of making of 22 green express highway. One of the highway is very important. From Surat it will start and it will go to Nasik, Ahmednagar and then connect to Solapur. So the total traffic from north to south, from Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Gujarat, water traffic going to Chennai, Bangalore or Hyderabad, they don't need to go for Mumbai or Pune. Because of this connectivity, the distance will be reduced and it is going to be reduce the pollution in Mumbai and Pune. So a lot of new highways we are making. We are completed the connectivity to Manas Sarovar from Indian side. The 85% work is completed. The Char Dham project of 12,000 crore, we have already the 70% of the project is completed because of some environment problem and Supreme Court also. Now we are expecting that next year we will complete this project. So the infrastructure of the country is now going to change. 100% I will assure you that you will get the infrastructure of international standard. Reducing further about the 8,000 kilometer of inter corridors and about 7,500 kilometer of feeder routes have been identified for improving effectiveness of these corridors. To provide inputs to self-reliance in defense manufacturing, several announcements were made under Atmanirbhar Bharat package and implementing such framework and to position India among the leading countries of the world in defense and aerospace sectors. The government has formulated the Defense Production and Export Promotion Policy 2020 to provide a focused, structured and significant trust to defense production capabilities of the country for self-reliance and export. This is very important and this is a very important initiative taken by the government and we need to do many things in this sector. The government has been working on multiple strategies on a number of areas such as procurement reforms, indigenization and support to MSME startups, optimize resource allocation, investment promotion, FDI and ease of doing business, innovations and research and development, quality assurance, and testing infrastructure and export promotion. The government has announced 12 key stimulus measures under the Atmanirbhar Bharat 3 to provide a boost to employment, agriculture, infrastructure, manufacturing, housing, and research and development of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. As a part of these efforts, a new scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, has been launched, which intends to benefit companies and individuals who lost their jobs due to COVID-19. induce lockdown and to incentivize creation of new employment opportunities during the COVID recovery phase. The central government will provide subsidy for 2 years in respect of new eligible employees after 1st October of this year under the scheme. The subsidy support will credited upfront in Aadhaar seeded EPFO account of these employees. The government has been working on many interventions for the revival of MSMEs and strengthen the overall ecosystem. Since West Bengal has a large number of MSMEs, and this initiative may be leveraged for them as well. I request Bharat Chamber of Commerce to support state-side dissemination of efforts made by the government to create awareness amongst MSMEs of the state. This will lead to a situation where the reach of the benefits can be ensured at scale. I am confident that India is becoming a global investment destiny, and our government is committed to provide favorable environment, policy framework, time-bound decisions, and decision-making process, well-developed public institutional capacity, and transparent ecosystem for the investors. I know that those people who are going to start industry, they are not only wealth creator, but they are employment creator. Our mission is to eradicate the poverty. If we want to eradicate the poverty, we need more industry and more investment. Without that, we cannot create employment potential. And without employment potential, we cannot eradicate poverty. My only request to all of you, please think about the rural, tribal, agriculture and 115 aspirant district. There is a lot of potential is available. The raw material is available. Agro-processing industries, handloom, handicrafts, lot of new innovation, new policy we have taken decision to support this sector. The contribution in GDP growth from this sector is very, very negligible. If we want to make Indian economy a strong global economy, we need to have more concentration on agriculture, tribal, rural, and at the same time 115 aspirant district. My priority is to present turnover of village industry is 80,000 crore, and my target is within 2 years we have to take it up to 5 lakh crores. And this is very important for the country. I will request you, all of you, that how it can be your chamber, your dynamic people who are the wealth creator, employment creator, to take more initiative in development of agriculture, rural and tribal and 115 aspirant district, where I will request to the chairman and all of you that you should frame some new policy, new ventures, new strategy, and please tell us what type of facility you need for that. Government is keenly interested to support you. And this is very important for making Atmanirbhar Bharat, because 65 to 70% of the population belong to rural and agriculture area. Our agriculture growth rate is only 8 to 9%, 10%. And now this is the time that we need to increase the manufacturing sector growth rate, and agriculture growth rate is very important. 22 to 24% from the manufacturing sector and 52 to 56% from the service sector. But first of all, we need to have more concentration on agriculture. We need to diversify agriculture towards energy and power sector. There is a huge place is available because we are already making imports of 8 lakh crores. So really, we need your cooperation for that. Once again, I am giving my all thanks to all of you. It's really a pleasure and pride for me to interact with all of you. God bless you. 100% we are going to win the war against COVID-19. At the same time, we will win the war, economic war of the country, and we will make India as a #1 global economy in the world. I always remember 3 songs. One is from Bajpayee ji, that Kadam se Kadam milakar chalna hoga. The second is also very important, that कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. And the third, which is indicating our self-confidence, that हम होंगे कामयाब. 100% हम सक्सेस होंगे और इन सब दिक्कतों पर, समस्याओं पर मात करके हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. इसी विश्वास के साथ आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और शुभेच्छाएं. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद नितिन जी. आपका उद्बोधन हमेशा प्रेरणादायी रहता है, पॉजिटिविटी से भरा हुआ रहता है, और आपने जो हमारे चेंबर को आह्वान किया है एग्रो इकोनॉमी को बूस्ट करने के लिए, उसके इनिशिएटिव्स के लिए हम ज़रूर इसमें कुछ इनिशिएटिव लेकर काम करेंगे और आपका मार्गदर्शन हम लेंगे। और हम आश्वस्त करते हैं कि इस दिशा में बंगाल के एमएसएमईज़ की एक अग्रणी भूमिका हो सके, इसके लिए चेंबर पूरा प्रयास करेगा। अब मैं हमारे सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट श्री एन.जी. खेतान से अनुरोध करूंगा कि वे वोट ऑफ थैंक्स दें।
Thank you, Saraugi ji. It's always a pleasure to propose a vote of thanks to Nitin Gadkari ji. In fact, this year, I am proposing a vote of thanks to Nitin Gadkari ji for the third time. Twice I did on behalf of Bharat Chamber, once I did for the Rotary Club of Calcutta. Sir, amongst all the politicians and the ministers, we all feel that you are one person who is blessed with vision, action, imagination, improvement and belief. And this I am saying so with the core of my heart and not to please you, sir. Sir, your two bold statement, I mean, this is what we always expect from you, that your two bold statement, one was on rural economy. I think you have rightly said that we have to improve our rural economy. And Bharat Chamber of Commerce have been very active in that regard. In fact, we had adopted one of the villages, and that was also visited by the former Prime Minister, one of the former Prime Ministers of India. So we are active, very active in development of rural economy. Sir, your one more statement, that conversion of knowledge into wealth. Sir, the 21st century belongs to knowledge and artificial investment. So this is an era where we have to convert knowledge into wealth. Sir, your other most appropriate statement has been the connectivity with different cities, the connectivity with the country. And it is as important as the connectivity of the industry with the government, because without that connectivity we cannot grow. So it's your participation and your agreeing to address meetings is in fact an example of the connectivity which the government has and now has with the industry as such. Sir, there are only 2 points which I thought are very important also, apart from the other points which you have referred to and which my president also referred to, requires an immediate attention. Sir, one is, we know that the bank are the oxygen of economy, and they provide credit to business and to our personal needs. Sir, we all feel secured to deposit our savings with banks. We cannot afford any longer failure of banks, which have recently seen in the recent past. Sir, unsustainable NPA of the banking sector is also an area of grave concern. Sir, on behalf of the Chamber, I would urge upon not only you, but upon your government to look into this burning issue with great care. Sir, the other most important issue is we all suffer from red tapeism. Sir, if I may say so, the figures are very staggering, but it's true, sir. I mean, we have all over our country, I'm not talking of the Central Act, but I'm talking of the different state acts. And in all, sir, we have 1,536 acts. And in Central, we have around 700 acts. Sir, all over the country, total, there is about 69,233 compliances. In a industry of a medium scale, has to comply with over about 2,000 compliances. And there are, all over the country, there are about 6,618 regulatory filings. And in an average, a company has to comply with over 1,500 to 2,000 regulatory compliances. Sir, on an average, there is a change of rule every day. There is at least 8 rules are changed every day. And 2,500 compliance regulations are changed every year in a year. Sir, I think a lot of time is spent on these regulatory compliances. A lot of time is spent on annual renewals. I said this red tapeism has to go with red carpet, sir. I thought this particular issue also needs to be looked into very, very seriously by the central government and also by the state government, particularly where you are in the power. So I thought these two issues, sir, are also one of the most burning issues which needs to be looked into. Sir, with these words, I would request all my members to propose a hearty vote of thanks to Nitin Gadkari ji. Thank you very much, sir, for addressing us.
Now we have the business session, and I request all the members to be present and not leave the meeting. Do we start the business session?
Yes,
Kikali?
please do that.
Please do join, come. You come this way, this side. Shri G.D. Shah, all my distinguished former presidents, my colleagues in the committee, and Senior Vice President Sri N.G. Khaitan. After the conclusion of the inaugural session of our 120th Annual General Meeting in the first ever virtual mode, I welcome you all to the first ever business session in the virtual mode. A special welcome to our former presidents to this session. At the outset, with honor and humility, I wish to thank all of you for reposing your confidence in me by re-electing me for the second term. At the conclusion of the 119th AGM, when the presidentship was bestowed on me in January this year, the virulence of the coronavirus had already become well known in some parts of the world. But until the first lockdown was clamped, I could not imagine that the dislocations would be so severe. Anyway, we learned to work under the norms of pandemic and social distancing. Because of the support and cooperation of our members, we have been able to hold the EGM, to amend our memorandum and rules, conduct elections to the committee, hold special sessions with our central ministers and 4 leading economists, and organize seminars on virtual mode. The success of this evening's AGM in virtual mode was frankly beyond my imagination. I think now we have to be a little more optimistic because the Indian economy seems to be in the recovery mode. Whether it will be V or U-shaped, it really does not matter. Secondly, threats of COVID-19 are becoming mellowed and vaccines are likely to be available. Now, while we continue to hold meetings with dignitaries in the virtual mode, as we are progressing to the pre-COVID situation, I think we should explore the scope of holding some meetings and discussions in the physical mode also by maintaining the social distancing norms. I personally feel that this evening's address of Gadkari ji was quite encouraging. He has also addressed us a few months back. Considering the interest to boost the economy of the MSMEs, we need to maintain our rapport with him and organize a few programs to be visible to him. These programs could be outreach by hand-holding for the MSMEs. Similarly, we have to now work on our publication on defense production in collaboration with E&Y and explored the scope of holding outreach programs by renewing the sponsorship of the Department of Defense Production. Before concluding, I must acknowledge the support extended to me by my respected former presidents, which has been indispensable in taking important decisions of the Chamber in the past year. In this regard, I urge my seniors to continue with their valuable support and guidance in my second term as well. With these words, I would now like to take up the items on the agenda of business for this session and would request Secretary General K.K. Sharma to proceed with the agendas.
Thank you, sir. The first item on the business session is the adoption of the audited income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2020 and the balance sheet as at that date, together with a report of the committee. We have circulated the publication in digital format to all members of the chamber, and we need to adopt a resolution to approve the publication comprising the audited income and expenditure account, balance sheet, and report of the committee. If there are any observations or remarks by members, before that I would request Mr. Deen Dayal Bhimaniwala to propose the resolution.
Resolved that the audited income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2020 and the balance sheet as at that date, together with the report of the committee and the auditor's reports for the year 2019-20, be adopted and passed.
May I request Mr. S.M. Surana to second the resolution, please? Mr. Surana, you need to unmute yourself. If you could please raise...
I second the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Deen Dayal Bhimaniwala and Mr. Surana. We would put the resolution to vote, and if there aren't any observations or remarks, the resolution would be adopted unanimously. Shall we go ahead with the resolution as adopted?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is the results of the election of the office bearers and committee members of the Chamber for the year 2020-2021. I have with me the report of the scrutinizers, and with the permission of the office bearers, Mr. Ramesh Kumar Saraugi and Mr. N.G. Khaitan, I would like to read out the results of the election of office bearers and committee members for 2020-21. President, Mr. Ramesh Kumar Saraugi. Those who are, I think, Avik, we can unmute members now because this is an internal session, and if people want to speak or we can hear the round of applause on, that would be very encouraging. So if we could have a round of applause. Thank you. Senior Vice President, Mr. Nand Gopal Khaitan. Vice President, we have a very dynamic person joining us this year, known to many of you, and a well-known brand in Kolkata, Mr. Ashok Kumar Todi.
Thank you.
Committee members, Finance, Mr. Ajit Kandelwal. Engineering, Mr. Manish Rungta. Mining, Mr. Siddharth Rungta. Export, Mr. Sandeep Shah. Import, Mr. Rajkumar Agrawal. Jute and Jute Goods, Mr. Raghavendra Gupta. Transport, Mr. Saket Kandoi. Textiles, Mr. Deen Dayal Bhimaniwala. Housing, Dr. Hirakumar Sen. Food product, Mr. Samarendranath Mitra. Tea, Mr. Bharat Dhandania. Chemicals, Mr. S.S. Kumar. Drugs and pharmaceuticals, Mr. Rajendra Khandelwal. Plastics, Dr. Saurav Khemani. Electronics, Mr. Anirudh Kajaria. Industry, not otherwise specified. We have 5 seats and the 5 elected members are Mr. Hariprasad Budia, Mr. Satish Kapoor, Mr. Vinay Kumar Goenka, Mr. Birendra Kumar Shorkar and Mr. G.G. Dalmia. Trade and commerce not otherwise specified. We have again 5 seats. Let me start with the lady, Srimati Nilima Joshi, Mr. Dilip Kumar Jaiswal, Mr. Harish Agarwal, Mr. Bikram Tantia, and a very young and dynamic person, Mr. Satyam Agarwala. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of auditors. I would request Mr. S.S. Kumar to move the resolution for appointment of auditors.
I don't know if the video is working, but I hope you're able to hear me.
You are audible.
I resolve that, pursuant to the provision of Section 139 and other applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013, if any, Messrs. Singhi and Company, firm registration number 302049E, Chartered Accountants, Kolkata, being eligible for reappointment, be and is hereby reappointed as auditors of the chamber, hold office from the conclusion of the annual general meeting, AGM, until the conclusion of the annual general meeting of the chamber, and subject remuneration as may be fixed up by the committee of the chamber, subject to
I think, Mr. Kumar, you're done with the reading of the resolution because there were some, audibility problems. May I request Dr. Hirakumar Sen to second the resolution, please?
I second the resolution.
Thank you. We are putting the resolution on vote to be adopted if anybody has any observations. Otherwise, we adopt it unanimously. Shall we take it as adopted? We are going ahead with the next item on the agenda, which is the adoption of budget estimates for the year 2020-21. I would request Mr. N.G. Khaitan, Senior Vice President, to move the resolution.
Sir, I am moving the resolution resolved that the budget estimate for the year 2020-21 be adopted.
May I request Mr. Rajkumar Agrawal to second the resolution, please?
I second the budget estimate.
Thank you, Mr. Khaitan, and thank you, Mr. Agarwal. We put the resolution to vote, and if there aren't any observations, we would like to adopt it unanimously. I think it is being adopted unanimously since there are no observations or remarks. On the next item of the business session, I would request President Mr. Ramesh Kumar Saraogi to request our very distinguished and illustrious former President, Mr. G.D. Shah, to make the concluding observations. Thank you, sir.
यह तो हमारी परंपरा ही है कि वरिष्ठ जनों के आशीर्वाद के बगैर कोई भी काम, अच्छा काम प्रारंभ नहीं होता है। भारत चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स की नई कार्यकारिणी नई टीम को हमारे पूर्व अध्यक्षों का आशीर्वाद निश्चित रूप से सभी का है, किंतु आज उन सब की ओर से हमारे पूर्व अध्यक्ष श्री घनश्याम दास जी शाह आज की इस एजीएम में पूरे समय थे और मैं उनसे अनुरोध करूंगा कि वे अपने ऑब्जर्वेशंस हम सबको दें। श्री जी.डी. शाह।
Thank you. Shri Ramesh Ji Sraogi, President, Shri Anji Khetan, Vice President, Senior Vice President, and my colleagues in this business session. First of all, I would like to compliment Ramesh Ji and Anji for their re-election. And re-election itself shows the excellent work done by you in this tough time. This year has been really very tough, not only for us, but on the whole planet. Nobody was spared. And naturally, we were not the exception. And in this time, you have taken an initiative to, I will say, you've taken a lead in embarking on the virtual platform of the world, organizing many excellent programs, not only your committee meeting, but the webinars and seminars with the noted economists, ministers of the government of India, bureaucrats, and above all, I'm very happy that you also had a webinar with the spiritual leader. And perhaps that was also the necessity of the day. Mr. Saraogi, you have done a very good work in maintaining the personal contact with the members, which was, in my opinion, was lacking a little. Defense production initiative has been started by our former immediate past president, Sri Sitaramji, has been taken forward in a very efficient manner by you. You deserve our confidence. Food processing is one of the strengths of our chamber. And when I come on my observations of the MSME, I would like to touch this point. You have done this one. I am particularly happy that you have taken initiative of Young Business Forum. I compliment Anuruddha Kajaria for providing good leadership. I hope with this initiative, we will be able to see more younger faces in the chamber. And I think what is a global village? I will be personally very happy if the chamber can focus on 2 or 3 issues which I am going to put to you, though on discussion by the Honorable Minister and by the President himself. Let us put our focus on the international trade and bilateral agreements, because this will also help us in promoting the MSMEs. Now, MSMEs, our minister has very much emphasized on the village and Khadi Udyog, and I think our fruit processing can be one of the areas which we can reach into the villages. MSME sector, as already mentioned by the Honorable Minister, President, contributes to about 30% of GDP and 48% of our exports, and a huge employment. Fortunately, we have a very powerful minister of MSME in Mr. Nitin Gadkari at the moment, and he is a doer, I tell you. You know, when this new definition was created for the MSME for with 250 crores of turnover and 500 crores of investment, you know, we from the exporting community approached him that if we want this MSME to export, this figure is very, very low. And export should be excluded in counting the turnover of the MSME for the eligibility criteria. And after the issuance of the notification, Mr. made it a point to get it rectified. So we have a very powerful minister and he can help us. And I tell you, by promoting MSMEs and international trade, and we will not only be helping the members of our chamber, but we will also be fulfilling the very clarion call of our respected Prime Minister, Atmanirbhar Bharat and local for vocal. Last point, I would like to point out that in Federation of Indian Export Organization, I'm sorry, FICCI, our representation has gone down as compared to earlier. And there need to be a attention on this issue, and let us how we increase our participation in this federal body. We have to see. I would like to thank Sri Pawan Poddar for his guidance as a chairman of the core committee to steer, to navigate in this difficult time. With these words, Mr. President, thank you again very much, and I hope you will carry on your good work this year too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. Thank you, Mr. Shah, for your observations and appreciation and guidance for future. Now I request our Senior Vice President, Shri N.G. Khaitan, to speak a few words.
Thank you, Rameshji. It's always a pleasure to speak after you. At the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Shah for giving us an encouragement and appreciating the activities of the chamber. I am also thankful to several past presidents who have joined today. I am also grateful to Dr. Nagendra for joining us, and I want to compliment Mr. Ashok Todi, who is a good friend of mine, for being kindly agreeing to be the vice president of the chamber. I am sure chamber will be greatly enriched by his presence and active interest. Sir, what I learned this year was a few things from our president. And the which I learned from him was that the crisis is the biggest opportunity to succeed. And it was so true. I mean, the chamber for the first time had the highest number ever of meetings, interactions with the central ministers, with bureaucrats, with I would say healers. They were also healers, doctors, people from all spectra of society. I mean, if I may use that expression, and we learned so much. I mean, we learned about defense, we learned about the relationship between India and China, we learned about how do we take care of ourselves mentally and physically during COVID-19. I mean, it was a tremendous learning and experience for not only for me, but for all of us. I mean, I must thank Rameshji for organizing so many interactions with different startups, with different personalities. and from different stratas of society. So thank you very much, Ramesh ji, for enriching us and enriching our members. We always say that there is a light after every darkness. And I do hope that, the 2020 has been a year of healing, but 2020 will lead us to a year of opportunity. And I really look forward to 2021, when we will also interact with you all physically. I had just wrote when Ramesh ji told me that, he would like to have the first committee meeting on a physical mode. I thought in a lighter vein I would say that इस लॉकडाउन में सभी परेशान हैं, इस लॉकडाउन में सभी परेशान हैं, किसी की एक झलक देखने को परेशान है, किसी की एक झलक देखने को परेशान है, और किसी को दिन रात देखते देखते परेशान है. सो वी विल हैव दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी, जिसको देखने की हम लोग एक झलक देखने के लिए परेशान हैं. We will have this opportunity to meet you all on 8th of January, when we will have our, is it so, 8th of January? Little later. Okay, little later, okay. So sometime in the month of January, I would say that we will have the first committee meeting physically, and we can assure you that we will maintain a safe distance. We will not infect you with COVID-19. You can take it for granted. And please do join that day physically, because really we want to meet you all physically. And I think things are improving a little. The corona is going down, and with another 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we will have the COVID vaccine also coming in. And I don't know whether we'll get it to be vaccinated or not, but things are improving, and we will have some courage to go out physically. With these words, I would again like to thank Ramesh ji for the wonderful opportunity he gave me to work under him, and for the wonderful work he has done this year. Thank you, Ramesh ji.
Thank you.
Yes, per the usual convention, we will have our holiday of Chambers holiday tomorrow, which is a normal convention after the AGM. Thank you very much, sir.
सबको नमस्कार. Thanks to all.